Okay, so when you click on the Backup First Contact web tool, you'll come to our home page, and that you'll have every time you start with a new patient. Before I demonstrate this to you, let me just tell you that Backup is just a demonstrator web page. In the future, this has to be integrated into existing and routine medical records, but at the moment we're just wanting to get feedback on the content, um, and so for the time being, it's not in any way integrated, and it doesn't save the data on the patients, and there's no patient identifiable information contained at all within the web app. So it's just a separate standalone system for this phase of development. Right, now when you begin to use the tool, your first task is to confirm eligibility. I'm going to say that they've got back pain, which helps with our prediction models, and then that they don't have any serious pathology, so there's no exclusion criteria that fits this patient. The next thing you'll see is the risk stratification, and I'm just going to whiz through this. This is the Keel Start MSK tool, a bit like the Keel Start Back tool, but for all musculoskeletal problems. So we're going to use the way that you answer this to predict the patient's pain, function, and work absence. The work absence is hidden away so that patients can't see it, but you can see the subgroup and you can see individualized predictions. Now, I've not done this in a very realistic way because I've said this patient's pain is 2, but you can see that they're a high-risk patient. So I ought to put this patient as a more realistic patient. And what you can see is how differences in their pain, if we could reduce their pain intensity, how does it affect their prognosis? What do we need to change to really try and help this patient make progress? As well as the individualized predictions, what's new is that you get to choose some treatment recommendations, and we've tried to make it really simple. If you're using English version, then you'll get a whole set of English self-management resources to choose from. The default, because I said it was a back pain patient, is a set of back pain information resources, but you can choose and deselect these if you want to. Maybe they've got neck pain as well, so I would choose some of those, and maybe I want them to have some information about medication, or maybe I want them to have some information about other things that I'm sending them to, or general activity. So you can add information for the patient to browse simply using this table. So whatever I've chosen is put into the green box, which is what patients see. I might want them to also do a physical activity app, and I can select something. At the moment, the default is the UK app finder via Orca, using physiotherapy as the key term. But if you would like to change that and have another key term, you can put in a website here and save that as your default from that point moving forward. You can work your way through choosing what treatment options you think are appropriate for this individual. Maybe they need some over-the-counter medication, or perhaps they need to be prescribed something stronger. You can essentially choose a range of different options that are evidence-based, right through to specialist referral, to rheumatology, or to orthopedics. And what you want the patient to see, you can add to in these little text boxes, so you can customize most of these treatment options. Once you've selected what you want for the individual that you're perhaps on the phone with, or that you've got in front of you, you then save those options and you share their care plan with them. Before you do it, there's a couple of last steps. What's the level of concern that you have? And this populates a reassurance statement on the care plan, and you can choose level 1, 2, or 3, with level 1 being the lowest level of concern and level 3 being the highest level of concern. You can, once you've chosen that, you can say, when should they contact you next? So perhaps you're going to contact them when you've got some investigation results. Do you want to include the prediction graphs for this individual? You can exclude that if you want to. And lastly, do they want it sent to their phone, their email address, or would you like to just save a PDF, which you can either email to them as an attachment or print for them? We don't save any information on this website relating to patient phone numbers and email address. As soon as it's sent, that's it. That information is deleted. And in any case, we don't know the name of the patient as it's a standalone thing. Now, the last thing just to say is, so here's the care plan, is that you will have some user statistics available to you once you've seen around 10 patients. And if you click on that, it'll give you all 10 and what care plan you chose. And what we're developing is some statistics that will allow you to interrogate that and compare your decision making compared to colleagues and others in your country. Hope that whistle stop tour has been useful, and I hope you find the tool useful and give us some really valuable feedback to improve it in the future. Many thanks.